Hi.
Hey guys.
What up?
My name is Garcia.
My name is Tele.
And this is
Soul Connection. That never gets old. Oh, I could do that like all day. That's so fun.
I hope you guys had an amazing week.
I hope you guys did.
As we did.
We did. It was a good week.
It was a good week.
It was.
It was a good week because we spent the week listening to His Royal Badness, the one, the only, Prince. Prince.
Ding, ding, ding. What?
We're not talking about
that,
that album, though.
Maybe another time.
Another time.
That's not our focus.
We are talking about this week. We are talking about the album Around the World in a Day. Around the World in a Day.
That's a good album. I love it. I do.
It's an incredible album, and there's a lot of interesting facts about this album. First of all, this album, this was the album that had to follow Purple Rain.
The monster Purple Rain. No pressure.
I think, you know, before we even get into the music, I wonder what sort of pressures could have been on Prince at the time, on the record label. I mean, Around the World in a Day, it didn't have a movie.
No, it didn't have the major, marketing tools that Purple Rain had.
No.
And even with Purple Rain coming off of the album 1999, you could probably you could play those two albums back to back, and they would sound like this huge musical journey.
Right.
It's a complete left with Around the World in a Day.
Yes.
Completely different.
This album, I think, in my opinion, solidifies Prince as a musical genius, a musical prophet, if you will.
He is definitely like a game changer. This one he dug deep.
Yes.
He did. He changed his entire appearance.
Girl.
Like his hair changed.
Yes.
His outfits, although, still in his own way.
Still unique.
But unique now, like in a different way almost.
Right.
I kind of want to say. Because it was still relative, but he was, doing like shorter jacket. Well, he always did a short jacket, didn't he? Yeah. But you know what? Prince is just Prince. Especially with this music, though, for this album, he clearly just wanted to change it up a lot.
He definitely changed it up, and he really took from times before, psychedelic sounds. I read about this album that he said he wanted to get back to that time in music when people would actually hear colors in the music.
You can hear it.
Yes.
You can. It has a vibrance to it.
Yes.
You gotta listen to it. If you haven't, listen to it, and you'll hear colors. I agree with that.
Definitely. We're gonna go into this album. We're gonna look into the lyrics. We're gonna look into the musicality.
So we're gonna dissect it.
Yeah, because that's what we do here at Soul Connection. So, I want to start with this album. First of all, is only 42 minutes long. By standards of the 1980s, this album came out in 85. That's a short album.
Now it's like, oh, no.
Now that's like
maybe too long now.
Yeah, maybe too long. You're
maybe
right.
too long now. But back then that was short.
Yes.
Because back in the 80s, if songs weren't like 6 minutes long, then us as fans would be like, what happened here? Why is this song so short? Now a song can be 2 minutes or less, and they get their point across, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like the long songs. I like the musical journey. Okay, don't judge.
Yes, and speaking of musical journey, this album, I think, is kind of like a journey.
I think so.
Like this is the opening of the album, and it sounds like you are packing your bags
to go on some like mystical journey. Packing your bag.
Yeah, going on a journey.
Zipping it up.
In your Cuban heels.
My Cuban heels. I'm going to carry some running shoes with me, though, because, 42 minutes can be longer than I expect. You got to think about the obstacles that's in the way of this journey.
So, this album, it starts with the song that's titled after the album.
Yes.
Around the World in a Day. And it truly just sounds like a fantasy.
It does. It kind of has like a cool like Arabian kind of thing going too. Yeah, like a belly dancing kind of thing.
Yeah,
it sounds bomb.
It's fun and it's very pop, and dare I say, sounds very radio friendly.
It does. I mean, I guess the only thing that probably people would argue is the in the background, which sometimes can sometimes be a little annoying at some point. But I'm like, okay.
And I think we will talk about that a bit later too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, Prince had a tendency sometimes to overlove sounds.
Yes. Which is very Bowie-like, right?
Yeah.
You kind of like inject like songs with different kinds of sounds and melodies and things you wouldn't hear normally in a song. He just puts them in there where you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And that keeps it interesting and fresh.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So this is the opening of the album. Again, it's very mystical. Mm-hmm. It's like a fantasy. Mm-hmm. You're entering into Prince's world. And
that's quite the world, yo.
And I think that the second song here is called Paisley Park. Now, some history about Paisley Park and what this is all about. So, Paisley Park, like Elvis, like Michael Jackson, Prince named his home.
I should name my home
Susan.
Sandra. Sandra Clark. No, I can't say it's already taken. Y'all remember 227.
But no, these kids don't know 227.
Youngsters.
What are you talking about? So Paisley Park is Prince's home.
Yes.
So what's cool about this song is that I think in a way this song is about Prince's desire to have a place where he feels loved and he feels free.
The cool thing too with Prince, as we always say, you know, him, Michael, even Madonna, like especially artists back in the 80s, you know, they were not your typical, you know, poster, Farrah Fawcett kind of thing. They were like, you know, musical nerds that were just trying to get their message across. So to have a place that they, you know, when people are making fun of their appearance or making fun of how they were, they could, you know, run into their homes, in this case Paisley Park, and just be themselves and not have to worry about, you know, newspapers judging them, this blog talking crack about them.
Yeah.
You know what, too? With this, it reminded me of, because Prince reminds me a lot of Andy Warhol in some ways, with, like, the whole, like, you know, Andy Warhol had the factory, which was his studio that he worked out of in New York. And the same kind of, like, cool mannerisms where, you know, they create their own kind of, like, I don't want to say weird.
Their own family.
Cool family, like, alternative family, if you will. I think it's bomb. I like that. I like that they embrace that oddity.
Yeah, I think with Prince, it was very important for him to constantly be in a place of artistic creation. So
Absolutely.
Paisley Park was that place, and his family was named the Revolution at this time.
At this point, there's still a Revolution,
Looking at the lyrics, so I pulled some lyrics from here that I thought were cool. So the first lyric, for love is the color this place imparts, Paisley Park. Admission is easy, just say you. Believe and come to this place in your heart. Paisley Park is in your heart. So, to me, that means he really feels that Paisley Park, it's more than just his house where he puts his stuff. It's a place that he calls home. It's a place that gives love. And it's a place where there's no admission. You just have to say yes. And you come in and you can be free and you can be loved and you can, you know, create, which is such a cool concept.
That's cool. I like that. That's sweet. That's nice.
Ready for another lyric?
I am. Hit it.
See the man cry as the city condemns where he lives. Memories die. Oh, wait a minute.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, this is sad. Memories die, but taxes he'll still have to give. Whoever said that elephants were stronger than mules. Come to the park and play with us. There aren't any rules in Paisley Park.
Aww.
So he's saying, the outside world,
it can be cruel.
It's cruel.
And cold.
It can be.
Hella lonely.
I mean, you know, this is the reality, unfortunately, you know, and it's timeless.
It is.
You know, the lyric here is so timeless.
Yep, it speaks then, it speaks now.
Yeah, it speaks now. You know, we're still paying taxes.
Still paying taxes. People are getting thrown out of their houses and they still got to pay tax on something they're getting thrown out of. Like,
yeah, you know, and
come on.
The idea that Prince is saying, look, I know times are tough, but I am trying to create a home where you can be free. There are no rules. You can just be who you need to be at Paisley Park.
Paisley Park. And that's a cool thing, too. Like, I wish, and I hope that, and I think that the world is, well, I can only hope the world is changing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, a lot of people look at Prince and not think of him as a sweet and sincere person. Well, he's a master on his craft. And, you know, he brings it when he does his live performances and whatnot. So when you hear these lyrics, you're like, oh my God, like, man. And we know that Prince had a soft side. But lots of people that are just being introduced to Prince or watching videos of him and his performance, I'm sure a lot of people, like Kanye West, would be like, wait a minute, that's kind of hard. But actually,
and I do think
Prince had a heart.
Yeah, I think that there are certain artists that just in general that are looked at as hard, but they're just really hard workers. And it's interpreted as something else. And I think Prince definitely had a heart. In this album, you see it. I mean, as we go through lyrics, you'll read more and more about the importance of love and creativity in his life. And how can you sing about love and be creative in that way without having that inside?
I agree.
You know?
1,000%. If there's such a thing as 1,000%. I'm guessing there is.
Speaking of Condition of the Heart.
Oh, man, girl.
Let's talk about the song Condition of the Heart. So, Condition of the Heart is this.
It starts off like, it's not your typical love song. Well, it's not even a love song. It's like a heartbreak song.
It's a heartbreak song, and one of the things that you shared with me was that all of the music in this particular track, it's all Prince.
It's all him, not his band. Not the Revolution's not involved in this one. It's all Prince. It's all Prince.
Yeah, he was such a great pianist and keyboardist.
He's so underrated, like with his piano playing. We wouldn't talk about his guitar.
We'll talk about that after.
We'll talk later. But yeah, just to know that he could play so many. He was his own band.
He truly was.
He really was. Like, he could do everything on his own. But, you know, and he was blessed to have amazing musicians because the Revolution is an incredible band. But to know that he did all this.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I love it.
This song, as you can tell, the intro is still going on.
It's like, a long intro.
The intro is literally like 2 minutes long, which even by standards of 1985, that's a very long intro.
It is.
Because especially in those days, pop music is meant to sell.
That's it.
Like, that's
you want to get to the point as fast as possible.
Right. We want the hook. We want the chorus right now.
We want to dance. Or in this case, cry.
But yeah, Prince didn't care about that. And I think this entire album, because of the sound, you could tell he didn't care about how much units were going to sell. Right.
You know, I guess because you know what too, going back to the Purple Rain, I think because he was so much was going on with Purple Rain, I think he was just like, you know what, I don't care if this album sells 2 units or 1 billion units. I just want to create my art and get back to me. Yeah. You know, get back to the basics. Like his first album, For You, it was just Prince as he is. I think that's what he was trying to do. I mean, of course, For You was more on the funky sad, I should say.
Yes.
But this is just a beautiful work of art, like a painting.
Yeah.
That's what this is like.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
The Condition of the Heart.
Whew. So we're
the title alone, it's like, oh, okay.
We're 2 minutes in the song and we haven't heard him sing a note.
No, not one note. Just his piano playing and his sounds.
Yeah, just so you have an idea as to what's going on here. Mm-hmm. So let's take a look at a lyric. So this song, as we were saying, it is a song of heartbreak. Throughout the song, Prince is going through a list of regrets, mistakes that he had made with different women in relationships.
Yeah.
So one of the lyrics, it's interesting because I think that this song is actually one of the most vulnerable lyrics I've read from him because he's admitting to a lot of things. He's admitting that love turns him into a fool. So here we have this guy that we knew in Purple Rain that was overtly confident. You know, would get on his bike and be like, you know, you're coming home with me.
Yeah.
You're coming to my place. And now we have that guy on this album saying, you know, there was a girl in Paris who he sent a letter to.
Should have tweeted.
Hoping she would answer back. Now, wasn't that a fool? So he's saying, you know, I gave my heart thinking she loves me, and she
Aww.
actually did not.
We can all relate to that.
And didn't write him back.
How many people have, like, sent that love text or WhatsApp or, like, DM,
Slid in the DMs.
and they're thinking, oh, maybe he or she will, and
Ain't
zilch.
nothing happened.
Nothing.
Ain't nothing happened.
Do the squat.
And he's singing about that, and it's so relatable.
It is.
That this album that came out in '85
still speaks volumes.
The
now.
lyrics still mean something.
It does. Everyone has gone through a heartbreak.
Everybody.
To some capacity.
Yes.
If you haven't, trust and believe.
It's coming.
Sadly, you will.
It's coming, little
12-year-old
girl out there.
Aw, and it sucks. And yeah, you're right. It is so interesting to see him put his heart on paper,
on
and then for the world to
hear. And
hear.
in this dramatic song,
Very
right?
dramatic.
So,
sorry, my dear. Very dramatic.
The other lyric here, I really feel that fame was beginning to mess with his
yin-yang
view of relationships as well. So there was a dame from London who insisted that he love her, then left him for a real prince from Arabia. Now, isn't that a shame that sometimes money buys you everything and nothing? Love, it only seems to buy terminal condition of the heart. So he's saying here that, I'm Prince, and this girl wanted me to love her, but then she left me for a real prince. So it's almost like he's saying, well, I'm not a real prince. I'm Prince.
His name is Prince.
Yeah, but
his name is Prince.
And he is funky. But we're not talking about that album. You can see that he has some self-doubt in himself.
It is. It's so, like I said, this song is amazing. It really is. The vulnerability that he's showing, everyone has that, doom, 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 muscle, and like, oh, I'm confident, I don't need no man, I don't need no this, I don't need no that.
Yeah.
But we all, when the doors are closed and you're by yourself, or you're, in a place where you're comfortable, and in Prince's case, he was comfortable to admit, like, hey, I was in love with this girl, or this girl was in love, or I thought this girl was in love with me, in his case, and she ended up dumping him to go with a real prince. And he's saying, money couldn't save this potential relationship.
The fame, the record deal, the
lifestyle, all of that
wasn't going to change her mind.
Couldn't change anything. She was set to go.
So that's, it's truly a deep message.
It is.
And another lyric here I pulled, only because it's interesting. So, Prince was a very cultured guy, very much into pop culture, old films, all of that. And
this is important. Watch old films.
Yeah, I think that it's great for songwriting. It's great for references.
It's great for creativity. You should watch old films.
Prince was pulling references from unlikely places, like 1920s film. He mentions Clara Bow, who's a silent film actress, and he references to her as, in reference to a former lover. So the lyric goes like this. There was a woman from the ghetto who made funny faces just like Clara Bow. So Clara Bow, silent film actress, so she must have made funny faces to portray emotion. Right? How was I to know that she would wear the same cologne as you and giggle the same giggle that you do? Whenever I would act a fool, the fool with a condition of the heart. So
interesting.
So he's saying, just thinking about you, thinking about how you laugh, thinking about the way you smile.
All these little telltale signs that he, the woman from the ghetto, she's bringing back all these memories. And he just reenacts, just re-triggers, I guess you could say, his condition.
And I think it's interesting too, in the beginning of the song, he talks about the girl from Paris, then he talks about the girl from London. But the girl that reminds him of these two girls is from the ghetto.
The ghetto! So why doesn't he just hook up with the girl from the ghetto?
Well, I think because he's remembering how he's acting like an idiot. You know, he's acting like a fool. And he's remembering, listen, my heart is still broken.
Still broken.
From the girl in Paris.
And the girl from England.
Right.
London. So,
you know, that idea that his heart is still broken from those girls, he's like, I'm never going to go to Europe again. And then, you know, then he goes home and he stops by the ghetto maybe to get some good food.
Yeah. And he sees
the ghetto girl.
Claire Beau.
And even the ghetto girl reminds him of the French girl and the British girl.
Don't you hate that? Like, stupid thing. Like, I totally can relate. Like, when you see, like, even like the dumbest things, a complete stranger, like in Prince's case here, you can be like, you don't know, the supermarket or at Walmart or God knows where, and someone would even say a phrase or a word, and it instantly brings you back to that person.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you know, you had to do like a double take thinking, wait a minute, did you just...
Yeah. But I do like that he made it that, you know, a ghetto girl was the girl that reminded him of the girl in France.
That was clever.
I think it's very clever.
He said a model or actress, but no, he said like, this girl from the ghetto reminded him of these two girls.
And I also, you know, I also do like the way how he referenced a broken heart. Rather than saying broken heart, he said, you know, this is a condition of the heart.
It is. And it's a condition that's hard to heal.
You know, so he's awesome.
Good songwriting, though.
Great songwriting.
Incredible songwriting. I like that.
And yeah, you guys should totally hear the whole song when you can.
We can't do it now because we don't want to get sued.
So we'll probably get sued for just doing this episode, actually. So
come on, yo. Anyway.
So the next song, this song is probably, I say, if you went and did a poll to everyone and said, name your top 5 Prince songs, this song would be on that list.
Absolutely.
This is one of his most famous songs for many reasons. But I'm talking about this song.
You know the dance? I can't do it now because I want to embarrass myself, remember?
It looks better when you're standing, though.
I know, but I can't stand because I don't want to come out I don't want to...
I think that's all I can play before.
Yeah, before. Let's cut that.
So, that is Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry Beret.
The kind you find at the secondhand store.
In the secondhand store.
And Raspberry Beret, as we said, one of the most popular songs.
Such a good track.
Of Prince's career.
It's so alternative, the way how it's, like, everything about it.
Yeah, this song is like, so we were talking before about how well written this song is. This song, it's a story. It's full-on story. It's a full-on Once Upon a Time There Was. Yeah.
We were talking about, too, how it relates to a country song.
Yeah, this is how country singers
do their thing.
Write their songs.
They tell a story.
Yeah, to tell a story. And I think that that's such a great ability as a songwriter to be able to convey a story to music. You're setting as country singers do.
That's it. You're setting up the scene. When he does such an amazing job. Like, come on, y'all. If you don't know Raspberry Beret, then...
yeah, like...
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, like the first verse. By the first verse, you know a few things. So you learn so much about the main characters. So Prince is singing about working in a five and dime, and his boss is Mr. McGee, right? So one, you learn he's working in a lame job. This job sucks. It's dead end.
It's no good.
Two, you learn that his boss, Mr. McGee, is a racist. The lyric is, he didn't like my kind.
Well, no one likes you either, Mr. McGee.
And then number 3, you learn that Mr. McGee thought he was a loser and would never come to anything. The lyric is, because I was a bit too leisurely.
So
Seems that I was busy doing something close to nothing.
Don't we all do that at work?
But it's one of those things where it's really interesting where Prince is really digging into the idea that, you know, I'm here singing this song, but there was still this dude that thought I was a loser, and my life was really in the dumps. Like, I was bored.
He was, it was like Groundhog Day. He was probably doing the same thing. As he knows, he was doing something close to nothing. But he did say, but different
than the day before.
Which just sets up to let you know, like, listen, this is his pattern. This is how it's been for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it's just so he doesn't bother doing much because there's nothing there to excite him anyway.
Yes, exactly. And then we have the girl.
But then, something comes in
that
excites
girl.
him.
We can tell she's a rebel and she's unique. So the lyric is, actually I don't have the lyric here right now, but she comes in and she walks in through the outdoor. So that line, first of all, brilliant. She walks in through the outdoor. So that means this girl doesn't give a flip.
She walks to the beat of her own drum. Don't we all do that sometimes?
Don't you sometimes walk in through the outdoor?
Especially when it's freezing cold.
At the supermarket.
And the door is open.
Right, and the outdoor is closest. That's the one you run through. But this was a hot day. And when she walks in, she's wearing barely nothing.
Okay, sis.
With a raspberry beret that looks like it belonged to a secondhand store. Mm-hmm. And he instantly fell in love. So
the condition of the heart was healed.
Yes.
That was fast. Sorry, Prince.
So the lyric here, built like she was, she had the nerve to ask me if I planned to do her any harm.
My girl was thick.
So, yes, we can tell that she was strong, she was built. Confident. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a lot to be said of this song because here we had this guy who thought, my boss hates me, I'm in this loser job. But then this girl comes in, she walks in through the outdoor and she comes up to me. And she's strong and she's beautiful.
It's like a burst of confidence for him. It's like, wow, okay, there are people in this world that are still colorful and bright and are not racist.
I mean, those are all good qualities.
We don't like you, Mr. McGee.
So the next lyric I want to bring up. So, look here, I put her on the back of my bike and we went riding down by Old Man Johnson's farm. So immediately, I don't know about you, but I pictured the kid from Purple Rain on his motorcycle with Apollonia.
Apollonia 6.
I don't like it, and it's funny because that's the only reference I can easily tie back to Purple Rain, which is the motorcycle.
And that's the thing too, because I know Prince in real life, as we know, he loved his motorcycles. Yeah, he loved riding them up and down.
Yeah, that was a real. That was his thing, right?
He really did love riding motorcycles. So that's where he feels comfortable. So, and it's kind of cool, too, how he just, I don't even know if he was done work yet at the Mr. McGee store. He just, I guess, just left.
He just left.
Hopping on his bike with his sexy mama, and
he was like, I'm gone.
Took off. I was like, okay, racist man, I'll catch you later. I'm gone with Miss Hummon. Yes, so, go ahead, Prince.
Next lyric. Listen, they say the first time ain't the greatest, but I tell ya, if I had the chance, I'd do it all again. I wouldn't change a stroke, because baby, I'm the most, with a girl as fine as she was then. So they end up having an intimate moment, and even that, leading to that moment, he sings about the overcast skies.
Yeah, he's still explaining the scene.
Right, and then he goes into, and then it starts to rain.
And there's horses.
The lightning and the horses are witnessing this intimate moment between him and the Raspberry Beret girl. And it's just a full-on story. And it's such a simple story.
It is. Whatever happened to him and her?
I don't know.
It's kind of sad. You never really know. I mean, he's talking, it's a story, so it's a memory that he's sharing.
Yeah.
But then
it's just so good.
It's a really good song.
It's a great song.
And it's cool, too, because of, like, the music of it. Like, it's telling the story, but it's, there's no crazy guitar solos. There is no piano. It's just a straight. Has violins in it.
It's very minimalist for Prince.
Yeah, I guess because he really wants you to focus on the story. I think that's why he did it like that.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's great, and the music video is also.
You gotta see the music video before they remove it off of YouTube. Make sure you see the video.
It's a great music video playing off of the art that is on the cover of the album, Around the World in a Day. and he's wearing that cloud suit,
classic cloud suit,
classic
with cloud guitar.
And his entire band and a bunch of other people are all there dressed in clothes that he would wear.
Doing an amazing dance.
Doing an amazing dance.
That I won't do
that Telly was trying to
I was trying to imitate it in my chair, but it was bad. But imagine it was me standing up. It's just I'm really lazy right now.
Right. But yeah, it's the song in itself really, I think, is a huge piece of Prince's career and who he is, and the song's just great.
And the soul he brings with the ad libs at the end.
Yeah, it's just a great.
You got to listen to it.
A great song.
It's such a good song.
Great song.
Such a good song.
So Raspberry Beret. We could talk about it forever, but we won't.
I'm gonna go out now and look for a Raspberry Beret because I do need one.
Girl,
go online.
Also, too, I also want to mention about Raspberry Beret, one more thing. So in the music video is somewhat more of an extended version. It's got a whole, like, funky starting guitar solo sort of thing. But before Prince starts singing, he coughs, like, kind of clearing his throat, like, and then sings. And they always asked him,
why
did you do that? And he said, I just wanted to do something different and cool. I just wanted to do something sick because no one else was doing it.
He wanted to be different.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, and I think we're back in that place where things are almost a bit too polished with music production.
I agree with you.
We don't have enough artists that are willing to keep the breaths in, keeping the mistakes, keeping those little itches that make the music have a bit of persona. And Prince said, I coughed because I just wanted people to know that I am not perfect, the music's not perfect, and this is what happens in life.
It was very reminiscent to the 70s. One of my favorite bands ever is Queen. And, you know, when you hear Brian May's fingers, you can hear his fingers, first of all, sliding off the guitar. You can hear the drums kind of like, you know, about to hit, or you hear the rustling. Freddie Mercury's voice is, you know, they're not changing anything.
No.
And if they are, it's very minimal. So I'm glad that Prince did that, because he's like, listen, why are we being polished? Like, we're artists. Artists aren't supposed to be so polished to the point where it's perfect.
I agree.
Like, I'd love to hear Adele just be able to sing and not have to label, like, clean every single breath she takes in and out. You know, it's like, let the girl sing. I mean, let her
This
do
is
her
why I
thing
think no matter what,
being...
people will always love to go to concerts, because that's where you hear the reality.
Hear Mariah Carey's voice, like, you know, the crack.
The bit of strain.
Yeah.
And the reality
inhale
of
and the exhale. You want to hear those things.
Exactly.
It's important.
And that's why he did it. He did it basically to say, you know what, I have to cough to clear my throat because I am a human being.
That's it. So, cough, clear your throat, sip that tea.
That's it.
And deliver.
That's it. Next song is...
I'm ready. Oh, girl.
So, this song is called America. And this song was Prince basically singing a song about politics, which is something
his political view.
Did not ever do. To be honest, he doesn't even like politics. Apparently, he did not like politics.
No. He wanted to talk to Obama to erase having birthdays, because he said that birthdays are a man-made thing. We shouldn't celebrate them. You know, to each their own. To each their own. But anyway, back to this.
Yeah. So, like, Prince did not like politics.
No.
But he felt compelled to write this song called America. And, you know, the lyrics are interesting, because basically the chorus is, America, America, God shed his grace on thee. America, America, keep the children free. So it sounds like a political song, but and there are two sides to it, and it depends on how you want to take it. Some people think that it's a song celebrating patriotism. Some people think it's a song being very sarcastic about it, and almost making fun of the idea of America and what it stands for, and its views on how they treat their citizens.
Right.
So the first lyric I wanted to look at is, little sister making minimum wage, living in a one-room jungle monkey cage. Can't get over she's almost dead. She may not be in the black, but she's happy she ain't in the red.
Oh boy.
So she's
living like right slap in the middle of a teeter-totter kind of life.
She is definitely living the life where she's probably starving.
She's living above the poverty line, maybe.
Overworked.
And broke. I mean, she's not in the red, which is good, but she can barely have enough to even get food to sustain.
Little sister is not having the best life. She's not living the American dream.
No.
That's heavily promoted, especially back then in the 1980s. And then the lyric goes into America, America, God shed his grace on the America, America, keep his children free. So he's basically saying, you know, America is great. However, little sister is broke.
Can barely live.
Even though she's working as hard as she can.
She's working her fingers to the bone and she still can't make ends meet.
That's it.
That's the reality we have even right now.
Exactly. The next lyric. Jimmy Nothing never went to school. So, Jimmy Nothing, meaning his last name doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter. Because Jimmy represents...
Because he represents...
a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's like, no one cares about you.
No.
You are a number.
You're a number. And in this case, Jimmy is just a general name for all of us.
That's it. They made him pledge allegiance. He said it wasn't cool. Nothing made Jimmy proud. Now Jimmy lives in a mushroom cloud. Oof. So they made him pledge allegiance. They made him join the army. He was drafted. And... he said, this isn't fun. This isn't cool.
No.
He was never proud of his life because he wasn't living the life he wanted to live. And when he came back from the war, he probably had severe PTSD.
Oh, I'm sure.
And ended up on drugs.
And do you see the government stepping in to help this poor man? Does the government help?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, this is a reality where there are people that have fought for their country and come home, and unfortunately the same respect and swiftness that the government had to send them out to fight war, it's not the same swiftness and respect that they had when they come back.
Restore them.
And they need to be helped and restored. So Prince is singing about that. And then he goes back into the America, America, God shed his grace on thee. This song is like about 7 minutes long or something crazy.
It's a good chunk, especially the music video.
Yeah, the music video is awesome. Like 10 minutes long. It's great. It's a live concert.
Oh, it's so good.
So if you want to see Prince literally play 6 different instruments
and just dance
you should.
And throw out free records.
Yeah, you should watch it.
You need to watch it.
So then the last lyric in the song is, boom, 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 the bomb goes boom, 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 the bomb goes boom. And then Prince makes his voice go a bit higher, and he's like, teacher, why won't Jimmy pledge allegiance?
I love how you put your voice higher.
I know.
Like, wait a minute, why are you putting your voice higher?
Teacher, why won't Jimmy pledge allegiance? And so there's a kid asking the teacher, why won't Jimmy pledge allegiance?
Because Jimmy's high on mushrooms.
The kid is noticing Jimmy isn't doing well. You know, and Jimmy doesn't want to stand again. He doesn't want to stand for the American anthem. He doesn't want to go back to, the war zone. And a kid is asking the teacher. And what is the teacher supposed to say? Because the reality is that the freedom that anyone has is because of the boom, 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 the war, war, war that's going on the outside. So it's a dark song.
It is, and I love how it's dark and the music is like peppery and bright.
It's one of the funkiest,
which is hilarious.
It's one of the funkiest songs in his catalog.
Yeah, it's a
great
this is a musical.
Yeah,
song.
if you like funk,
then listen to it.
Then listen to this.
But the lyrics are so hard hitting. And yeah, it's just, poor little Jimmy. How's he supposed to be happy for a country, like we were saying before, that pretty much sent him to be a human grenade, basically?
Yeah,
come on.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. And then sadly, it's a
Yeah.
It's a thing that up to this day, and I'm trust me, it will go on for forever. It will be a thing that always happens.
That's it. Yeah, so
But
great song.
Thank you.
Some more great
Great
songwriting
song.
by Prince,
Yes.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great
track.
musical
Do listen.
track too.
It's an awesome journey we're on so far. Shoot.
Right?
All
Okay,
right.
so the next track is another song that we love dearly.
We love Pop Life. With another great meaning.
So
Yes, you got that pop.
this song is also personally one of my favorite songs in Prince's catalog completely.
We're not gonna do that.
What I like about this song, so you heard a bit of the music there. The song has it's a pop song.
It's a pop song.
Right? But the song is also really relatable in the sense he's singing about life.
Pop life.
Yeah, and you think the song is about maybe, pop life, like his life because he's a pop star, and it's like, no. It's about everyone's life. It's about our life. And it's about him saying, look, your life is going to be bloody boring if it's just staying on a steady line.
And that's it too. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous for us as human beings to think that our life is going to go exactly as planned.
Mm-hmm.
We can make all the plans in the universe. Nothing is wrong with that. But trust and believe, the lovely line to the top that you draw is going to have some edges, some erase marks,
definitely.
some hills and some valleys. And that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
And life is kind of boring if you don't have those dips and curves, I guess.
I would agree.
I mean, it sucks, but
I would agree.
what are you going to tell your grandkids?
Yeah, exactly.
Give us something to be like, oh my God, you went through that?
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, because it's so important,
Mm-hmm.
Sheila E. Was one of the percussionists
Glamorous life.
on this song. Sheila E.
She
Big,
wants to live.
drummer, singer, pop star, dated Prince. She played some percussion on this song, just so you know.
Sheila E. Sheila E.
So the lyrics, what's the matter with your life? Is the poverty bringing you down? Is the mailman jerking you round? Did he put your $1 million check in someone else's box?
Imagine. Yo, where's that stupid mailman?
Tell me, what's the matter with your world? Was it a boy when you wanted a girl? Don't you know straight hair ain't got no curl?
Ain't that the truth?
Life, it ain't real funky unless it's got that pop. Dig it. So, basically he's saying that what makes something pop is the imperfections in your life. So, yeah, you wanted a girl and you got a boy, or vice
love
versa.
that boy or love that girl. It's yours.
You're broke.
Okay.
Again, whatever.
You lost that $1 million check because this stupid mailman put your $1 million check in someone else's mailbox.
Yeah,
Find 'em.
straight hair ain't got no curl. So he's basically saying, things aren't great, but guess what? You've got a story to tell. And
You've got a story to share.
You've got something to share. You're learning some new wisdom.
That's it. Sometimes you live, sometimes you learn.
Yeah. And it's funny because this, to me, when you look at Prince's music and you look at the topics that he sings about, this is kind of like Prince coming to your house and sitting you down.
And dropping some knowledge on you.
Yeah.
Truly. It's like that cool uncle the cool, like, young uncle that's, like, the last born to your father. And he's just, like, dropping all this cool knowledge, and he's, like, lived life already at his young age, and you're just like, okay, Uncle Prince. Wow, yeah, that's something. You lived through that? What? Like, Uncle Prince. Living life and sharing his knowledge.
Ready for some more?
I'm ready, girl. Drop it.
So, lyrics. Tell me, what's that underneath your hair? Is there anybody living there?
Is there?
Okay, so this lyric is dry.
Right?
He's
Like,
basically saying, do you not have a brain?
Do you have a brain?
That sounds very Prince.
That's classic Prince. Like,
that's shade. That's
King of
shade.
shade.
That is shade.
King of
children.
shade.
If you need to learn some shade, there you've got it. You can't get over if you say you just don't care. show me a boy who stays in school and I'll show you a boy aware. So he's basically saying, listen, you're depending on education to better yourself. But the reality is that your life is not going to amount to anything because you're not aware and you're just not out there living life.
You're not street smart.
Learning from those mistakes because you're too smart.
Street smart.
Too book smart.
Too book smart. You need street smarts. Like, I'm still waiting to use algebra for a street smart thing. I haven't used it yet.
You're never...
And I probably never will.
You never will, so...
That was a waste.
That's just... I'm sorry.
Isn't that stupid, though? I mean, I totally agree. Like, yes, learn to read, learn to write, all that's important. But that can't be any more truer. You have to live life in order to learn.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Come on now.
Definitely. Well, it's like kids that are overtly privileged.
Right.
And they've never made a real mistake until they turn 35.
And then they do. And their world's like turns
spin
upside
out
down.
of control because they don't know what it is to have to struggle.
They've never had their no money in their account.
Tuition. Exactly.
They've never had to pay their own rent or their own mortgage.
Exactly.
And now they have to adult, and they don't know what it's like to do that at a younger age. So they're experiencing pop life.
That's it.
A condition of pop life. Does that make sense? It does now.
Next lyric.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what you putting in your nose? Is that where all your money goes?
Well, now I know where that $1 million check went to. The mailman didn't take it. You snorted it.
So he's saying, listen, you're all out there doing your cocaine.
Snorting.
That's where all your money's going. That's probably why you're in the first verse where you're talking about having no money.
No money. Because you snorted it. And you're there accusing the mailman for dropping your mailbox. I'm sorry, mailman. It wasn't you. It was the person in this third verse, which is you. You, not me.
The river of addiction flows. You think it's hot, but there won't be no water when the fire blows.
Damn. So like you're going to hell?
Sounds like you've just sent yourself to hell because you did too much cocaine.
Well,
So, thanks, Prince.
Take care.
Good advice.
That is some serious advice.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. And, you want to be coherent of what's your surroundings.
Yeah. And I know that, it is very, it's interesting, especially when you read about, how Prince died. But again, I won't even go there.
That's a whole nother video.
That's a different show.
That should be a different show. That's a different show.
That's a different show.
You never know. Could happen.
Anyway, great song. One of my favorites. You were saying that the song was very popular. Like, so many artists had tried to get their hands on using this song.
Oh, yeah. Ja Rule used it for Thug Life, but Prince said no.
Thug Life.
Thug Life.
Right?
And then Tupac did something with it as well. G-Unit did something with it as well. A lot of it, because, pop life, you can change it to anything. I think G-Unit had this, what was it, Coke Life? I think that's what it was.
Coke Life.
I think it was Coke Life.
When there's a lyric in there saying
I think that's why they probably took it, though, because of that.
It's an interesting song, everybody.
It is, and the whole album's incredible.
Definitely. So... Pop Life is amazing. Mm-hmm. There are tons of other songs on here too that we're not covering, but definitely listen to the album so you can get the whole feel.
It's a good album.
So the next song I wanted to talk about was, so this song is called The Ladder, and this song is somewhat Prince's version of a gospel song.
This is like pre-Kanye.
This was him basically doing a Sunday service before Sunday service existed.
Became a thing? They're both Geminis. So.
So yes, a secular artist doing a gospel feel song.
But this was big in the 80s. Remember Lionel Richie? Like a lot of secular artists had a gospel feel as well. And it sold just as good as their secular stuff. So yeah, this is probably just Prince's version of a gospel track. And it's even though you hear like the gospel of it, it's still like so Prince.
It's very Prince. Like And that's the one thing. Prince always makes sure that his signature is on every song.
Stuck to that brand.
Right?
He did not alter it at all.
Yeah, like, he always... The talking part in this song is really long.
Yeah. But his vocals are so bomb.
So... Yeah. Thank you, Prince.
His soul is just on point.
It's a very soulful song, and the message is basically, you know, everybody's looking for the ladder. Everybody's searching for the soul. Everyone is searching for salvation. Everyone's looking for answers. Yeah.
For something.
You know, it's that song about hope, and, you know, the road isn't easy, but one day we will get there. You know, that's
it.
Basically,
Song of hope. Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
That's basically what the song is about. And, from what I understand, he wrote this song with his father and members of the revolution.
Yeah, Lisa and Wendy.
And this really just has to do with his relationship with Lisa and Wendy.
Lisa and Wendy.
He really had a huge respect for them as artists and as women as well. Prince was kind of one of those artists that was like, why can't I have a female drummer? Why can't I have a female guitarist, bassist, and all of that?
Yeah, a lot of people, like, you know, would say he was like misogynistic and all this stuff because of, like, you know, he had a lot
because
of
the music and
stuff
how
like this. But he loved to work with women, and I think because I know that, like, yeah, it's I think it has a lot to do with this. I mean, I'm just assuming it has something to do with his mother, and, you know, I mean, he said that he gets his wild side from his mom. And his more, like, you know, conservative side from his dad. So I guess, like, he just loved working with women because, of course, you know, as a woman, we bring a different flavor to things as opposed to him working with other men.
Definitely.
So, you know, he had, like, you know, I don't even talk about Kat. Like, Kat was one of his dancers that you learn about later on after the revolution. And the work with Sheila E., Vanity, Apollonia.
Yeah, he loved to collaborate with women. A lot of the songs he wrote were given to women. Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor. Oh, geez.
The girls that sang Manic Monday.
The Bangles. Like, he worked with a lot of...
Chaka
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, like,
he worked with
a
many
lot of women. He was a feminist
amazing art.
Before it became a thing for men to be feminists.
Yeah.
And he also just loved women for how they looked. He borrowed a lot of looks
the small little
from
guys,
women.
He looked good on him.
Yeah, he would wear lots of clothes that are fashioned after women's fashion and made it his own.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of things that if you're standing on the outside, you would never know about Prince, but once you step in, you're like, this guy ain't so bad.
He's not. None of these people would hang out with him that long if he wasn't. I mean, of course, everyone has their side where they're like hustling, and, you know, especially if they're in their zone and you happen to talk to them at the wrong time. Of course, they're gonna be like, "Yo, leave me alone, I'm busy." But that doesn't mean that they're like evil or mean. It just means that you caught them in a bad time.
That's it.
That's all.
I do want to take a moment to talk about. So this song playing right now is called "Temptation," and the reason why I just bring it up is because we do have to take a second to talk about what a great guitarist Prince was.
Listen, Prince is one of the most underrated guitarists of all time. I saw it even on YouTube. Like, he's so underrated. There's this video, as we watch it all the time, that he did. It was for, they sing While My Guitar Gently Weeps. This was
it was a dedication, I think, to George Harrison.
And the guitar solo that Prince laid down.
Girl.
I was like, okay.
All the musicians on the stage were like...
He was kind of like, wait a minute, what? Prince?
And the thing is, he's always been good.
He's always been good.
Always.
And you read interviews of him, he was always practicing. He was always practicing his singing. He practiced his guitar playing, his bass playing, his piano. This man would play every instrument every day, day and night. He just lived to make music and live in that space. That's so awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Talk about dedication and focus.
It is. So, now that we've walked through this album...
The journey.
Or
we packed our bags anyway. We're still carrying them. These are heavy bags.
What is the takeaway for you, Telly, in listening to this album? What do you get from it?
You know what? I get the bravery and I guess it's the bravery that he evoked in himself to say, you know what, I'm going to do a complete 360. I don't want anything to do with Purple Rain right now. I just want to focus on something completely different. And, you know, he's embracing his, I guess, weirder side. you want to call it that. Like, I love how he just took a complete different journey and just kind of like, slap us all across the face and say, you thought I was only this. Well, I'm gonna knock that out of you and give you this instead. And I'm just like, take chances. That's what he's giving me.
Yeah.
Take chances. And if people like it, great. If they don't like it, well. Who cares? Next.
Yeah,
someone's gonna like it.
Yeah,
right?
I think I can say.
I love
but
it.
at the same thing, I really
love it.
I've always Prince is one of my favorite artists of all time. Like definitely top 3.
I love
and
Prince.
I do have to say that this just further confirms, what a great artist he was.
He was like
how in touch he was with himself, and it gives me a deep respect for the primary purpose of music, is that songwriting and that melody. And no matter what's going on, it doesn't matter if it's trap, it doesn't matter if it's rap, it doesn't matter if it's rock, pop, whatever it is.
Doesn't matter.
The lyrics gotta be relatable, and the music's gotta be great, and it's gotta be pleasing to the ear. As long as you have those elements, you're good.
Got it. And he had those. He had all of those. Especially in his later work, where people would have said, "Oh, well, Prince was only good until up to the '80s." It was like, have you heard his '90s stuff though? Have you heard his later work?
There's definitely a catalog worth
you gotta
listening to, guys.
Get on Spotify, type in the name Prince, and go exploring, because his work is fantastic. I love that man. He's such a
great guy,
creative little genius.
Great guy, and sorely missed.
But we're still here. And so is this album. So definitely go and check it out.
Check it out.
Right?
And thank you so much for watching another episode of Soul Connection.
This is the song though, because
thanks for watching. We will have a new episode next week.
Yes,
hopefully
we will.
We'll be able to go live. I think
our schedule will be.
It's a hard life, guys.
It is.
Our life is very pop.
Our life is hella pop. Hella pop.
Yeah.
But but this is good pop. Like, we're not doing no stuff. And trust and believe that man ends up putting my check in the other person's mailbox.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. This was fun, as per usual.
As always.
We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.